Yeah, here.
Chicka. Yeah.
Kill Bill and Rev. We don't suck.
Ooh.
All right. What's good, pussycat? Whoa.
That was great.
Welcome back to the We Don't Suck podcast. We're back. We're officially back. And not only are we back,
We're on crack.
we are perhaps allegedly on crack. And it's 2020. It's a new year. We have a guest. We have a very special guest. And I'm really excited to talk about anything other than the guest. And with that in mind, Scuare, thank you for coming to the podcast.
You're welcome.
Moving on.
How you doing, buddy? How you doing? It's been years since we last talked.
Yeah, it's been a really long time. I'm really excited to be on this episode of The Twilight Zone.
That is not the show that you're
No.
You're definitely on the wrong show. Yeah, you're.
This
Yeah.
is not the needle drop.
No. That's down the hall to the left.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We recorded Anthony Fantano's house.
Yeah. He lets us and a few other people.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's a special occasion for many reasons. Obviously, Square's never been on the podcast before, so that's tight. People have been asking for you. I don't know why, but they have been, and so you're here. But also, we just released a new album. By the time this podcast comes out, we would have dropped Skin. Give me some skin, right?
Got to them.
Stream Skin on Spotify. Stream Skin on Spotify. Consume media. Consume media. Consume media. Give us money.
So we dropped Skin, and we still don't know what the reaction's like because we're recording this just before we drop it. Exciting times.
I'm assuming that it's either one of two things. Either we've somehow already gotten the Grammy for next year, or we're all canceled.
Yeah, and I really hope that by the time this comes out, it's so successful that I'm not friends with you anymore.
Yeah, you hope that by the time it's come out, this podcast can't air because Sony sends us a cease and desist.
Yeah, exactly.
for having your
like
voice
your
on
voice
it.
is like
Yeah.
automatically copywritten.
Yeah.
As soon as it comes out of your
YouTube
mouth.
hears your voice, and sends a bill.
And I wouldn't even be signed to Sony. They'll just be sending cease and desists.
Yeah, no, they
for
send
my
you
voice.
directly a bill, and when I say a bill, they sell actual bill. They send him, and
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
you should deal with it because
There's like a clone jutsu of myself just busts in the door, dick swanging, bro.
Yo, can I just mention something? Because like neither one of you is like, I'm assuming very familiar with Naruto, but this is just for the viewers. I've always wondered this. Like Naruto, when he creates the clone jutsus and like clones himself many times, when those clones like explode or burst, all of the knowledge that they have directly goes to Naruto. So then if like one of the clones is destroyed, he's like, the enemy is over there. So like can Naruto clone himself and get like jerked off, like have like 100 clones that jerk off and bust a nut, and like right at the time they're busting a nut, like have them like implode? So will he like experience 100 ejaculations at once? Like would that be why has this not happened? You know,
Does he
That's all I'm-
experience their feelings?
Yes, once they're sort of imploded, you know. So I say imploded, they kind of like, you know, like it's a puff of smoke, and then he's like, my clone in the east has. He
Nutted.
has nutted. It was very pleasant. So yeah.
I just imagine someone like nutting and then being like, that was very pleasant. Like, just like that right after.
That's not what you do?
Oh, good time.
People don't do that enough in porn, I think. That should be something.
Yeah.
The go-to
It's
phrase.
unrealistic expectations to not say
Exactly.
that was pleasant.
So
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was going with that, but yeah, it's good to have you guys here. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, we just released a joint project together called Skin. Bill, myself, and Square. Like in the I would say in the process of like 2 weeks, if we're talking about like just sitting down and working with something, it was about 2 weeks total. We got together and made an album. We didn't intend to make an album. We didn't go into the process thinking like, yeah, let's make an album. It's sort of like the same thing that happened with Solar Flare.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, I mean, we had started it like right after Exoasis.
Yeah, the night after Exoasis, we
the night after
Worth.
Exoasis, yeah, we recorded Worth. Frank Jeffsey was in the room.
He was.
He was there.
He was.
I think it was his energy. He brought that energy. Like he wasn't, he didn't do anything on that song. Like he didn't produce it or anything. That track was produced by Gold Midas, but I
he
think
helped put together the studio.
he did help put together the studio, and I think his mojo in the room automatically made the song better because that's his energy.
I think I really like the whole energy of us putting the booth was put together real fast. We were all very efficient and jumped into it.
And it was late.
And it was late, and
Really
we were
late.
all drinking beer for whatever reason. And
Wow, snitch.
Damn.
Just tell the feds what we're doing, buddy.
yeah, no regard for the law when it comes to EXO.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun. And then afterwards, we, Square and Bill came to visit me at my mom's crib in Texas, and we basically just had a lot of shit to do. So that's why we got together. We had a lot of stuff to take care of, leading up to Exoasis, we had to take care of Exoasis. Right after that, there were other things that we needed to attend to. Some of the things you guys have already seen. So like the vinyls, the New Moon vinyls. For those who don't know, we released our first ever vinyls. We pressed New Moon vinyls. We still might have some available, so we'll probably put it in the description. If it's not in the description, just go onto either like Bill's or my Twitter accounts. It's probably our pinned tweets. And if they're not there, then shit, check our Instagram.
And they're gone. If you can't find them, they're probably all sold out, but they'll probably still be a little bit there.
Yeah, so that was exciting. And we'll talk about all of that like in a future episode, maybe the next episode, because there's a lot to discuss on that front. But that's one of the things we were working on, at least the ad and everything. And there's a lot of other stuff that we worked on that we can't talk about just yet because it's still a work in progress. And whenever we had downtime, we would just play NeoTurf Wars, Mario Kart, and write and record songs. And so that's how this album came about.
There's also a lot of Mario Party played.
Oh yeah, that was quite a lot of Mario Party. Yeah, a lot.
It was real good.
Which that's where you introduced me to what's it called, the mechanic in Mario Kart. That
Soaking?
I feel like what?
Soaking?
No, the
Oh, the other technique. Oh, you're talking about Mario Kart. Sorry, go on.
the crunch mechanic or whatever.
Spring Mechanic, was that it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spring
yeah,
Mechanics,
yeah.
which I feel like is ruining Nintendo games.
Yeah,
That's my hot
those,
take.
Yeah.
For those unfamiliar with Spring Mechanics, is basically, how in Mario Kart when you're in last, the game gives you the best items, and it actually also helps you go a little faster in general than if you're at the front. And if you're at the front, you're gonna get cucked with, but just having bananas and coins and a best green
Blue
shells.
shells.
And you're gonna get hit with a blue shell and everything. And it's all done so as to keep the gap between the first and last place as small as possible. So think of it as the further the first place is, the more likely they're going to get hurt. The further the last place is, the more likely they're going to get some sort of item to propel them forward. It's like a spring that you pull apart.
So if you're in last place, imagine the game gives you steroids, and if you're in first place, they break your legs.
Yeah, and I miss the days of double lapping people. That's what made games worth playing,
Yeah, especially when you had that one person at the party who was just really bad at video games.
Yeah.
And then they're there just trying to have a good time, and you just look over it to look at defeat, and you realize as you're taking that almost third lap around them.
Yeah.
You realize wow, they're never gonna want to play video games ever again.
Yeah, and that's
And that's okay.
That was
because Because fuck them.
Yeah.
You know?
That was what made it worth it.
Yeah.
Also, now Mario Party, like, what's the point of mini games at all? You get like 6 coins, and then just like randomly, depending on where you land, you win the game.
No, not necessarily, because you could get the coins to like steal other people's stars, for instance, right? You can.
Well,
convert
like,
that
here's my
currency.
problem with the new Mario Party. Here's my new problem with the new Mario Party. I think it's a cool game. It's like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
But like, I mean, yeah, I'll play it any day. Like, I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining. Okay. But like, I'm so used to, like, my game when I grew up was Mario Party 2. And in 2, like, you had like a set number of like, okay, you get the mini game star at the end. The bonus stars was like the mini games. Whoever won the most mini games gets a star. Whoever got the most coins during the thing gets a star. And whoever landed on the most happening spaces gets a star. So there was a bit of a formula, but you had to like win at mini games to get that one bonus star. So like you could actually suck at mini games, but then like, how are you supposed to get the coin star if you're not getting that 10 coins every time? You know what I mean? So it was like,
Right.
a more of an incentive to be good at the mini games versus the new one is a little bit more random.
I feel like the incentive is still there. It's just there. It's more of like, what kind of bonus stars are you going to get? It's a lot more, you know. Like I feel like in Mario Party 2, before you get rewarded the bonus stars, you sort of have an idea who's won, right? Because you know which stars they're going to award, and you're like, well, this person's traveled the furthest, blah blah. With this one, it's a lot like I have no idea what's going to happen. It really feels like it's just. It is very
well.
random.
They made it into more of a party game because it becomes less of a.
Yeah.
It becomes more like just a normal board game.
Yeah,
than
that's
like,
right. So
yeah, so I get it 100%, but I still do love the whole like.
I still do love the
like,
old Mario Party games.
I also wish. Okay, here's another thing: is like I wish that they would. Actually, I'm not opposed to them doing the bonus stars the way they do. I just wish they gave out more of them.
Yeah,
like
they
if
only
it was
give
like
2, right?
4 or 5 random ones would be like amazing to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, 'cause
instead of just the 2.
2 is a little bit lacking, but it was fun. It was really fun, and yeah. So should we even talk about skin?
No, I bet.
No.
I'm just tired of these socialist games.
Yeah, these. Okay, so moving on.
Where's my fascist games?
Actually, before we grapple with skin, before we pull the skin back, I think.
This one we called it skint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just got cropped when I tried to put it on Spotify. It got cropped. That's why it's the way it is.
Yeah. The T was.
They only allow 4 letters on Spotify album names.
Yeah, same for the album art. The T was like way to the right, then got cropped out.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why on there I'm just Scuare.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squaw. I'm just kill.
So
Rav is Rav space.
So skin. Before we pull the skin back, I did want to address the elephant in the room. We haven't been active on this channel for a while. It's been a couple of months, I think now, and that's because we've been taking a little bit.
Hate each other.
We hate each other. We've had a falling out, and we're just hoping that some sort of Reddit group discovers the reasons for why it happened. Probably because Bill punched Susie. But that's besides the point for now. What I do want to address is that it's a temporary hiatus, and we do plan on returning, both doing the podcast stuff, We Don't Suck, and the Let's Play stuff. We really miss it. It's just we have been really busy, and music always comes first because it's our. I want to say, like, obviously it's our job in the sense that it pays my bills at least, and get it
Both
bills.
your home bills and your friend bills.
And my friend. so, but it's also a passion. It's the thing that that keeps us going. So it always takes priority over everything else. And last year I was getting close to burning out because we are a 2-man team for the most part. So we record, and Bill would edit the podcast episodes. I would edit all the Let's Play episodes. And there was just so much editing to do and so much recording and editing to do that there was barely any time for anything else, barely any time for personal life, let alone actually sitting down and making music. And so the way we're going to try to tackle that is we are going to launch a Patreon campaign so that we can hire a full-time editor to help take some of that load off. Because we do really enjoy playing on here and doing the podcast and stuff. It's a really fun outlet for us. We just have to manage it in a way where it doesn't get in the way of all the other things that we do. And so, yeah, we're working on that. And for the We Don't Suck podcast, you will see them updated on iTunes and Spotify, all that. I know that we're a couple of episodes behind on the streaming platforms, but that should be fixed soon. And hopefully we'll return to the old schedule, like within the next, I'd say, month or two, if all goes according to plan. But yes, we haven't given up, and we appreciate the support. I'm so happy that the Chibi Chubby Quotes Twitter account is still going, and they're posting every day.
Yes,
really appreciate
it's
that.
like one of my favorite accounts ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Me and my girl do this thing. I want to tell them about the game real quick. So me and my girl do this thing. I call it the game. You lost the game. No. So like,
Wow.
what it is like we look at one of the quotes and we try to figure out like who said it, because like, spoiler alert, like I don't. Most of the time, I don't remember anything that I say on
In life.
the podcast or in life. Typically, it's just completely. I don't even know what I just said 5 minutes ago. It's completely gone. So yeah. So I'll see a quote and then like we'll be like, oh, that one radiates Rav energy, or oh, this is Bill energy, or this is.
How do you usually sort of figure it out? Is it kind of, do you have like go-to parameters, or like, oh, that's a, that's a Bill thing to say?
I have like a set of catchphrases that I use a lot.
Right.
That like, not necessarily like the phrases, but the phrasing of things. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's definitely me. I definitely said that. And then there's certain things that like I'll say that you'll say that like I would never say,
Like what? What would I say
like,
that you'd never say? Oh God, are you about to say a racial epithet?
Yeah, dude. I don't want to talk about. I'm just gonna say we don't share the same opinions on Mein Kampf, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
mine are very bad, and yours are a little different.
Yours are really bad. Mine are different because I've never read it. I don't care for it, but you keep insisting. But nevertheless,
no, that's what I'm saying. Jesus Christ, I hate you all.
So let's do a quick game of that for the last like 6 or so tweets to see who.
Perfect.
Okay, so who is this? Square? Actually, Square will have to guess first. He's our friend. He should know us, and I know he doesn't watch our.
And they're not me.
They can't. No, they're not. They're not you. Surprisingly, they're not you. Okay, is that our best friend? Meth PewDiePie?
Oh, that's I don't know, Rav.
Dang. It's Bill, because Bill is obsessed with meth.
I don't remember saying that at all. Meth.
I feel like to be fair, both of you guys would say that.
That's true. It's in that game we were playing. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I do remember that. I can't remember the one that was really wordy.
Yeah,
really
we should get back
game.
to it. It was really silly. Okay, next one. But here I am sobbing in front of a Minecraft screen.
This is definitely me.
And if it weren't
relatable.
If I weren't you, which one of us would have said that?
Bill.
Ding, 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 ding. Only Bill talks about sobbing. That's right.
Yeah. Bill cries a lot.
Yeah, he does.
It's true. I'm a little crybaby.
There's nothing wrong with shedding tears.
No.
Shed your tears, shed your skin.
All the time. Yeah.
Let's see. What is this one? Actually, I don't know who said this one. Wow. That song sucks ass.
Rav.
Just like my marriage. Wait, no, you can't. You said it before I even finished. Okay, that's probably me because I say sucks ass more than Bill does. But then I don't know because it says, wow, that song sucks ass. Just like my marriage. That sounds like it could be Bill too. Because
yeah, I think because we both make I feel like I make marriage jokes and you make my wife jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's hard. Maybe this was a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. I think this one's pretty easy to guess. Okay, so you took my
Rev.
You took my EXP, you hoe ass hoe.
Wow.
I know who said that.
I'm gonna go with Bill.
Was it?
Nope.
Was it me?
No, I think it was you.
That's probably me. It does sound like my
Oh,
phrase.
wow.
Because
Ding, 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 ding.
I wouldn't say ho ass ho. I might say ho ass ho. I don't know. This might be complete. I might have said it. I don't know.
You
But
might
for
have
some
said
reason,
Y'all are like, oh, this one's real easy. Oh, I don't. Was it me?
I don't know.
Okay, I fucked up because I was like, for some reason in my head that was Bill. Okay, this one. This
it
one
might have been me. Who knows? I don't know, man.
This
Who
one
knows?
is a two-parter. Okay, so there's like each one of us is a part of this one, but you have to guess who says what.
Okay.
Dude, this game's awesome, bro. I love it so goddamn much that I just want to fucking, and then the interruption. This is fun. Shut the fuck up.
All right. First,
I know this
first,
one.
First is Bill. Second is Raph.
God damn it. How did you know?
What game was that? Do you remember?
I'm trying to.
I feel like it was that same game from earlier because I low-key hated that game.
Oh, I love that game. I don't think it was that. No, I think it was it was something fairly recent for sure. And you're like, wow, this is yeah. How
What did I say, dude? No, was that
how did you know
that
that?
wasn't Battle Block, was it?
It might have been Battle Block or something
Because
like
I might have been mad.
it might have been that or it might have been something else.
Yeah.
How did you know Square?
Well, actually, Rev,
What was the giveaway?
the whole project of Skin, like we really recorded that just so that we could have this podcast, and this podcast isn't actually a release podcast, it's an intervention because Bill's really tired of the abuse. So
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I just wanted you to bring that tweet up so that we could talk about how abusive you are.
I feel conflicted, you know. On the one hand, I feel I feel attacked, you know. This is a sabotage.
And
On the
liberated.
other hand, I feel happy knowing that Square won't be on our podcast after all. This is just a mix of emotions.
No, dude, we got to talk about this. They cut out the last half of that tweet, which is just you smacking the shit out of me.
Yeah, so the podcast just ends and just sounds.
Rav is silently canceled. Just just bows out.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Well, that was that. That was a fun game. I'm thinking about maybe making this a regular segment, or I don't know, a semi-regular segment, because it is fun. It's fun to go back to the past and play these shitty games that suck ass. I'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dookie.
You know what's even more fun? To do things and then say they're gonna be regular and then never do them again.
Yeah, we've done that before.
Several times.
Yeah.
It has to have been more than I can count on one hand, at least.
That's your regular
Yeah.
thing then.
That is, our inconsistent. We're consistently inconsistent.
Oh, wait, when you just did that voice, it just made me think of, like, what if the angry video game nerd fused with Markiplier?
It's just like, buffalo diarrhea dookie.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea dookie.
I can't do the voice. I suck at the voice.
Well, your voice is your register is closer to his, but
I know. I just can't get it right
I
for
look
some
more
reason.
like him, and so I'm able to channel him more in terms of, you know,
You are him.
tonality. I am Markiplier.
Dude, all you need to do is
Just the
dye your
grunts.
hair dye your hair, grunt a lot, and just get like real swole.
Okay, wait, can't we talk about two things there? Grunt a lot sounds like an amazing rapper name or producer name. So that needs
It's
to
my
be a
boy
thing.
grunt a lot.
And actually, never mind. Let's move on. We're gonna keep going further and further away. We're straying further and further from skin.
Stream Skin on Spotify. Stream Skin on Spotify. Consume media. Consume.
Stop doing what you're doing. Stop that.
Dude, I can go all day. No skin off my nose.
Back.
Or nose.
Or ass.
I don't know. I've never heard the ass one. I've never. But
You've never heard no skin off my ass?
no, I haven't. Again, that's one of the things you picked up from Mein Kampf.
Oh, yeah. I love when Hitler said that. No skin off. 9 skin off my ass.
Wow, that was really good German.
Yeah, I know. Mein Schmetterling.
So this is. I don't know. I feel like maybe I didn't miss We Don't Suck as much as I thought I did.
No, it was definitely something that we worked up to be cooler than it actually is. And now we're here. We're all just disappointed like usual, you know?
It is what it is. Square, tell me.
Skin.
Skin. What was Square? I almost said squint. Square. What do you think about Skin, the album?
Oh man, you really killed my 20-minute presentation on epidermis
Oh, did I?
with that qualifier. Yep. Now I gotta talk about the album. I thought we were talking about Skin.
You brought his lab coat and everything, man. You fucked it all up.
Yeah, it's,
We can talk about that later, so don't feel disappointed. You could just like push that to the side.
No, I mean, I thought it was cool the way that we recorded it. That first song recording, that verse at 4 a.m. I feel like getting kind of like a stream of consciousness type like writing and recording process where it's like, I don't know, because usually, I mean, I think we've all talked about how usually the way that we record or like create is by ourselves. It's kind of like a construction. It's like very, for me at least, it's like very pieced together. Whereas when you're doing something together with people in person over a short period of time, it's more like, it's almost more live, you know, like you're coming up with everything in the moment. And then while it's still, kind of raw and still like in like this that creation energy of it is still there. You're putting it down, which I think it makes it feel a little bit different than like, I think something that I've had to get used to over time, which I actually like doing this when I record, is like getting good at like creating something, writing it, recording part of it, cutting it up, doing different things to it, but all like having the same thing, doing the same thing over and over again, to the point where it's like you have to almost like get yourself in the mind state to like feel energy from it. Whereas like when you're just like working on something the way that we worked on it, like the energy is there because like you're making it and like putting it down and really like doing like rough mixes like all in the same moment. And I think that that's like a very interesting different way to do it, which is like the way that a lot of people do it, but I just not personally, I don't usually work on stuff in that way, so it was kind of cool doing it like that.
I think I think you bring up a really good point in terms of like us being, you know, bedroom rappers, or however you want to call us, means that we usually record in the comfort of our own homes. That means there's no pressure, you know, like for time or, you know, resources, etc. It's just you sort of do everything on your own and you kind of develop your own rhythm. I think everybody develops their own rhythm. So when you get thrown into a situation where you're working with other people, you know, it's really fun because it's like stepping into a new playground, you know? I feel like we're seasoned enough where we didn't feel like, oh, there's this pressure that we have to work with other people in person.
No, and we're all comfortable with each other too, so that's like super helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're all on the same like page in terms of why we're doing what we're doing. We weren't there to like necessarily like, I think, out rap each other or impress one another. Although I think I did. There was that in the back of my mind where it's like I'm trying to make the best thing with these guys, but also I would write sometimes something, I'd be like, oh, they would appreciate this part, you know? So I think that was kind of a cool thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. There's something cool about it too, where when you're working on your own, I feel like there's fewer rules, and that's not always a good thing. Like sometimes I'll just drop it all together. Like I'll be writing a song and then just stop and go make myself a snack and just forget about it, right? Whereas because we were all in the same room, all recording it, I feel like there was a lot more focus. And it was dope. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's like this kind of like forced, I don't mean forced in a bad way, but like there's this like forced comfortable pressure, if that makes any sense. I know that's like a lot of like different things that have like kind of conflicting meaning, but like there's kind of like, I like that. I like writing by myself and I like recording by myself. It's a very different, relaxing experience to me. Whereas like this was kind of more like, okay, like even though like I wasn't trying to like out rap anyone in the same way you did, I was okay, well, I gotta like bring it. Like I gotta like be on my A game and try to do the best of my ability. And we have like a short amount of time to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And so it was kind of like, I like that like little tiny pressure that's just like, okay, like now's the time to do it. You got to do it now. You know what I mean? And it's like that in itself is kind of like its own little beast to work with. Like when you're writing anything, recording, I felt a little less weird just in general, because it's like, I'm used to recording with you, Rav.
Exactly.
Like
Same.
Like this is not our first rodeo, not our first rodeo on this one. You know what I mean? But I like that process. It's like, it's chill, especially when we sit back and like when we were writing, like if I got finished writing or you got finished writing, we'd be sitting there like just playing Street Fighter on mute with the beat going. You know, it's just like a super chill.
It's chill. It reminds me of it's not too different from 2014 when we were recording Ramona. And just to reiterate my earlier point, like again, I wasn't trying to out rap you guys. More so like I didn't want to.
Dude, I don't know. I heard you muttering. I heard you muttering in the corner like, motherfuckers, I'm gonna fucking
Square like raps his part, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Motherfucker, how did he come up with that?
You're putting the pen to the pad like real hard, and I was just like thinking like you could be writing this on your phone, you know, and you're sitting there
actually
like,
that
you know,
that brings me to another point where, like, I like that during the writing process, the beat would be looping, and because I guess it was 4 a.m., it was so early, we didn't even throw it into Adobe Audition and loop it just like properly. We were running it back, like Bill would be running it back each time. So that was kind of fun. There was something fun about that energy. Like we all looked towards Bill right when we knew the beat was about to like end. And the fact that we would be sharing our bars as we were writing them, I feel like that shared excitement was another fun aspect of recording together. Is because like, okay, so this is what I've got, and like, oh shit, and then it gives you an idea, and then I feel like it makes also sometimes for a more consistent effort in terms of like theme sometimes, or just the energy. It's a lot easier to match another person's energy when you're in the same room. Yeah. When this thing is being created, so it's not like when you receive a song, you receive an MP3 in your email and you're like, cool, I'll check it out tomorrow. And then the next day you're there like listening to it without the context of the energy that the person, came into the process with. Again, not taking away anything from that type of process either. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because I don't think. One. Yeah, I think it's just different in general. Because I mean, there's like there's an aspect to the way I normally record that I really like, because it's like putting a puzzle together. Because it's like I don't even record like full verses at once at the beginning. I record like bars, and then like I'll do something different and record that, and then like do a hook and record that, and then like if everything comes together, I'll record the whole verse.
Interesting.
So it's like part of the creative process. So to me, it's like a completely different thing.
Yeah, that's totally different than how I do it.
Yeah, same here. That's super different.
Yeah, because like recording is part of my creative process most of the time. like a part of my writing.
Bill, how would you describe yours in comparison with Square's process? His is piecing together a puzzle. How would you describe your approach?
Mine is like a very methodical, like, this is the writing stage, this is the recording stage, this is the mixing stage. Like, it's kind of like how I've always done it. Now, not all the time. Like, there's been some times where it's like I'll have like things and I'll be like, okay, I need to record this verse and then like this hook. And then I'm gonna just kind of figure out something when I'm in there for like a bridge or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of probably the closest I get to that. But like, I usually have like everything kind of mapped out in my head before I even start recording. And then like when I'm done recording, like it's very rare that after I enter the mixing stage that I like record something else in there. You know what I mean? Like it's usually like after that point, it's like I'm pretty much done. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, yeah. So it's usually just me, kind of how we did it. Like how it's just like we would sit there and we would write the verse or whatever. I would do that, but like for the whole song, and maybe it wouldn't all be done in one day. Like maybe it would be like I would write a verse and a verse and a half or something, and I'll like finish it later, like when I feel like a little bit more on. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like it's just kind of like write it, record it, mix it. It's like always been my thing, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a lot more close to my approach. I would say almost word for word exactly what Bill said, except for in my mixing stage, sometimes I will sort of be like, actually, that needs to be re-recorded. Or
I feel like you re-record a lot.
I do. I go back to stuff a lot. And the annoying thing is I'll re-record a lot. I've noticed like a recurring pattern where I will start mixing something, and then I'll be like, I need to re-record my verse. I re-record it, I mix it, I sit on it, and then I go back to the original take. That happened with I don't remember which joint. Oh, that happened with the joint that Celadon, the one over Bill's beat. So we all recorded it together. Then I went back, I mixed everything. I was happy with how everyone's vocals were sitting. But I wasn't really happy with mine during the mix, so I re-recorded them. Then y'all heard that mix, and then I was like, I don't know. Then I went back to the old vocals and mixed them a bit differently, and I was like, oh, this is way better. Which kind of goes back to the whole energy thing. Like I think it was just the take was better because we were like in the same moment, and it just came out better. But yeah, oftentimes in the mix, if not re-recording, at least sometimes I'll get an idea where like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if in the back I did like this little thing, a little singy thing or something, you know?
Yeah, and I think one of the drawbacks to the way that I do it, which I like the way that I do it because I kind of need the energy of it to work. But one of the drawbacks is that like sometimes if you like record an early version of something, of a verse, and then like later I'll want to change parts of it because I've been hearing the same recording for so long. When you change the recording, even if it's better, it sounds worse to you because I think it's because the imperfections. Yeah, because the imperfections of the previous one become like part of the song. So like then like when you redo it and the imperfections are different, it like automatically sounds worse because you're not used to those imperfections, or like you're just not used to like the way that it sounds like there's something about it that's like slightly different. So it takes like, I have to like, if I do something like that, usually I try to create the whole song and finish it quickly so it doesn't get to that point. But then if I have to change something, I usually have to sit on it for longer so that my brain can like refresh what it expects out of the song, and then you can decide if it's good or not.
Oh, that's really interesting because basically the way you describe your approach is how I would have described it for me 9 or 10 years ago. I think I was way closer to that in the sense that everything was happening in front of the recording software. The writing, the recording, and the mixing would all be happening more or less at the same time. But I think it's changed for me over the years. I don't know why it changed. It's just when that transition occurred. But for me, it's kind of like, I think Bill would probably agree. Like, I enjoy that there's 3 different steps. Like, I look at writing as like a completely different process than like recording. Like the writing is where I don't mind being locked away somewhere in a dark room, just pacing in circles. It just like putting together this word puzzle and trying to communicate something. And then when I record, I look at it more as like, this is the performance part. You know, this is where it's like more like the physical or athletic aspects come into play. And then mixing, I always look at mixing as the following day, you know, like in the morning in the kitchen, sitting there eating cereal and you're mixing something where by separating those three, maybe it's easier for me to keep my stamina. Maybe that's why I do it, you know, because when I write, it can be something that comes out real quick, or it can be something that might take a long time because I keep returning to it and changing it. And sometimes I need that ability to just keep changing it before I start recording, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
totally feel that.
yeah. And I mean, like, not to go on forever, but like, one last thing I'll say is that part of the reason why I do it the way I do it is that I think in my writing, I'm constantly fighting like, it being too like mechanical. So one way that I combat that is by like recording parts and then like freestyling stuff, like freestyling rhythms and like fitting stuff into those freestyles or using freestyles or improvisation as bridges and stuff. So that, because I feel like if I wrote an entire song before I recorded it, when I recorded it, it would just be like, not necessarily like miracle lyrical stuff, but it would just be like obnoxious bars, like just like too many, like too much, like
I see.
too much geometry and not enough like flow. I don't know.
Kind of like you have to break away from the rigidity of it and then go into like a more fluid state and then pop back into
Exactly.
it. Like, that makes total sense. 100% sense.
I really feel like on this record, all three of us sort of took very similar approaches. I guess we were forced into taking very similar approaches, but it all
Put a gun on to our head and was like, rap about this.
yeah.
In this exact way.
Also, here are your lyrics.
Yeah, Rav wrote the entire album.
It was real fun though. Like I felt like it was one of the easiest records I've ever been a part of in terms of the creation, and yet I feel like it was also more focused. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the subject matter, we agreed on everything ahead of time, and it just so happened that I think everything came together just right. And I really enjoyed the mixing stage for almost pretty much most of the project, you know? It was real fun mixing, which, you know, if 10 years ago, I hated mixing. Like there was something fun about it, you know, trying to get things to sound the way that you want them to, but because I wasn't polished enough, I just couldn't realize, like I couldn't take the thing in my head and put it in my software. Whereas this time, I don't know, it was just more fun. It was more fun.
Oh, I do want to talk about, speaking of the mixing, I do want to talk about Belong for a minute.
Oh yeah, Belong. Speaking of mixing, yeah, the
weirdest
left.
mix. Yeah, so Rav mixed the majority of this project.
Yeah.
There's only two that I did, and they were like the more lo-fi joints. It was the
both of the ones produced by me, basically.
Yeah, it was Through the Fog and Belong.
Through the Fog was like a collaborative effort in the sense that I assembled it and did some of the, you know, like the little stuff, and then you basically added some elements to that and then polished everything.
Yeah, by polish you mean kind of like depolish it in a way, dirty it up a little bit. Yeah, we were going for like Belong was a really interesting process. Probably one of the most. It was probably the most fun I've ever had mixing something. Yeah, honestly, it was real weird.
It didn't take as long as I thought it would. That was actually kind of
no. I thought it was gonna be like a back and forth, but it was only like what I sent you like 3 mixes total.
Yeah,
maybe 4.
Yeah, it wasn't many.
You know, and it was like kind of just minor change. Well, I mean, originally it was like a lot more polished sounding, and then like you kind of gave me the green light because like I wanted to, especially because you made the beat. I was kind of like, okay, where does he want to take it? Like, where is like his head at, because I started off with it and like I was kind of thinking like, let's just fucking demolish it and it be as weird as it was, you know? But then I was like, okay, well, I don't know if he'll like that or not. So like, let me just like kind of do like a little bit of a half step in between. I sent you that, and then you were almost just like more.
Yeah.
And then I like said it, and you're like more. Like,
Yeah,
it was like, do this, do that, try something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was like making jokes about like, oh yeah, we could even like pitch shift stuff around and stuff. And you were like, yeah, no, do it. Like,
Pitch down your vocals. And then we were talking about like, you know, what you previously done, some of your techniques on cerulean, with how you use distortion almost as an EQ, and then like, let's do that, you know. And so overall, I love it. Yeah, because it's sometimes it's hard to describe things, because I personally don't think of mixing or sounds in like a traditional like engineer way. You know, I can give you some direction in terms of like the lows are overbearing or the mid highs or but overall I kind of go with the more visual descriptions. And so for me, that song needed to sound like what I remember being like 3 or 4 in the kitchen, and like the window is open, the balcony is open, and it's a really sunny day, and the TV is on. It's an old, shitty, super tiny CRT TV, and Sailor Moon just ended, and the sound coming out of that thing was so squeaky and like off and somehow like warm, you know? And so, and I wanted that. It's like, because to me, that is a big nostalgic kind of memory and feeling, and to be able to recreate that in sort of a sonic way is difficult using just visual descriptions. But it turns out that like it wasn't much difficulty at all. Like, yeah, as soon as we agreed that like, hey, let's fuck this shit up, you just naturally went in the direction that I kind of hoped you would in terms of sound. And honestly, you kind of took it further than I had even imagined. So you did really good on that.
Awesome. I'm glad that you like it. I like how it turned out. I also kind of like the contrast between like, there's like a bunch of joints, 2 joints on there that are produced by Gold Midas. Shout out Gold Midas. And incredibly good producer and rapper. But so like those joints are like super low end and like super clean.
Yeah, especially Breathing Underwater. That like the song right before it is like probably the cleanest mix.
Song.
Yeah. It's like both of those joints are like super clean. The Breathing Underwater is like definitely like a very like crazy clean mix, and like I think the contrast between that and what it ended up going into with Belong, I know that we kind of had like a bit of a transition through the skit with that, but I think it's like cool how it's like those two, if you listen to them side by side, you really wouldn't think of them as being on the same record.
Let alone
like
right one after another,
Yeah, but then when you hear it in the context of the record, it kind of makes sense in its own weird way. I'm not trying to like pat ourselves on the back on that one or anything, but like, you know, I'm literally patting myself on the back. You all do it too, please.
No, but
you know what I'm saying? Because I thought it was pretty cool.
I can't reach my back.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's got the whole like, you know,
T-Rex arms.
T-Rex arms and Notre Dame back, and so
yeah. Sorry to hear that. Sorry for your loss.
The Quasimodo thing. I think you're right. I was really surprised with how just sonically all the songs worked well together, because again, we weren't recording them thinking like this is all going to be on one project. We actually ended up cutting a song out because it didn't sonically match the record, but everything else was just, I think, perfect. And it has this like warm sound. And it's fun that we all got to produce on this record, you know? So we all got to not just rap, but also get involved in, you know, in terms of the production side of things. So that was fun.
A lot of fun.
I think my favorite song is probably the one that Scuare produced. At the moment, that's my favorite song, Half-Life.
Yeah, that one's really good. That beat is really clean.
Yeah.
Like it's got like a really cool vibe to it.
It's really clean. Yeah, it's really nice. And
it's not even warm. Brazilian.
And it's not Brazilian.
I'm so proud of you.
No Brazilian samples on this record. I know Scuare was losing his goddamn mind. Just sweating every time a beat came on. He's like, guys, where's the Brazilian sample? He suggested introducing some of them during the mixing stages.
Yeah.
But after
During the master,
during the master, yeah, mastering stage.
you just like put some bossa nova on. He's like, turn this off. I need to hear some bossa nova.
Yeah,
Like I actually suggested that about 3 songs into the project, we just do an hour-long bossa nova recording, not our own music, just recording of other people playing, and then come back
Yeah.
into the record.
Just a DJ set at that point.
yeah. And it's our first. The thing I didn't realize until really recently. This is our first sort of musical. I don't know how to put it. Endeavor this decade. So
Oh yeah, shit.
that's
We
right.
starting off the new decade strong
Yeah, we're starting it off with that. So yeah.
with that bullshit.
With that bullet, out of all things we could be doing, we started off with that bullshit, and I'm excited because I've been working on music a lot on my own record. I've been really inspired lately, and so yeah.
Samesies.
Oh, this was your first project of the decade? I actually just the day before this drops, I'm dropping my own record that I worked on with my other 2 friends, Logic
Oh.
and
Oh
Joyner Lucas.
God.
I'm just trying to figure out which one of us is Logic and which one of us is Joyner Lucas.
What's the album called?
Facts about hip hop.
I thought you were gonna say Flesh because it's
relate?
deeper than. I thought you were gonna say Flesh because it's deeper.
Your veins. It's called Veins.
but it's spelled wrong.
Yeah. VAINS.
Yeah, because it's all about your vanity.
Because everybody's vain.
Yeah. So that's
It's called Bone because it's all about boning and it's also deeper than all those things. Just Logic and Joyner Lucas rapping about having sex for 7 songs.
But somehow like trying to make it like really deep. It's just the metaphor the whole time.
I mean, sex is deep, bro. When you think about it, like, this is a conception of life unless you wear a condom.
in which case it's shallow and stupid.
Just shallow and
To be
pedantic.
honest,
at best.
I didn't want to say Joyner Lucas. It's just his name came to my head first. I wanted to say, what's the dude? Man, that's why I didn't say it because I couldn't remember his name.
Tom
The
McDonald.
dude. That's so much better. I was gonna go with
Logic and Tom McDonald.
Yeah, I was thinking of the dude that does like the Drake style raps that always wears like a leather jacket and
Oh,
just
Logic. Oh, Jeezy.
G-Eazy.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. G-Eazy.
All right, yeah, okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to make G-Eazy fans mad, so I'm gonna just not say anything.
Oh, does he have fans?
Yeah, dude. He's got people who like him. Most of them, I don't assume that they listen to a lot of rap music, but I'm
Right.
sure that they
Does he have, like,
him.
really
I'm
loyal
not gonna. I'm
types
gonna
of
sound like
fans?
a hater.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
Just
I was
let's move on as fast
I was
as
just
possible.
listing Rapidy Rapper, so that's it.
I don't
We're
fuck with
good.
Jeezy. I don't care. But
Whoa,
You don't fuck with Jeezy?
controversial.
yeah, dude.
I love Young Jeezy.
I don't fuck with Jeezy, but I fuck with Jeezy. Yeah, guys, I think I might be the first person to ever say it, but I don't know. I don't like that G-Eazy fella.
That actually just reminds me, like how many people? There's got to be a situation where some kid was like in high school or middle school recently, and like their friends are like, "I love G-Eazy. G-Eazy is so great," and then they looked up G-Eazy and somehow came across Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not
They,
Young
like,
Jeezy
show
anyway, by the
up
way.
listening to Can't Ban the Snowman. They're wearing like a 4XL white tee and like size 40 jeans when they're skinny.
And all of a sudden, they're
Yeah.
You know what I'm
much
saying?
harder than their friend.
Yeah. They like learned how to cook crack from Young Jeezy. And they're just fucking. Their life is much cooler.
Yeah, you know that would be a much better thing to come across. Just like
I would much rather.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. I would much rather get arrested for selling crack to the community than be like a G-Eazy fan.
Yeah, that's so. So you started this whole conversation with, I don't want to offend any G-Eazy fans.
Listen. If you like G-Eazy, that's fine for you.
Yeah,
okay?
it really
But
doesn't
just-
matter what you like. You
just
like what you
don't
like.
touch me ever. If you do.
Stay away.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. Listen to whatever you want to listen to. But seriously, fuck it.
I don't know
I
anything.
love the 180 that just happened. It's
Just
been
bam. Like so many 180s.
Look, I don't want to offend anybody that may like G-Eazy, but if you like him, fuck you.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
yeah,
I think it's just because we just put him aside, Young Jeezy.
yeah.
And
It just
it's
made you
very
mad.
hard for me to hate on Young Jeezy just because I listened to Can't Ban the Snowman when I was 16.
By the way, I was not hating on Young Jeezy at all. I was just thinking about the contrast.
yeah, you know.
If y'all ain't hating on him, then get his name right. It's
Yo,
Jeezy now.
it's not a mixtape, but the tape's mixed. Sorry, what'd you say,
It's
Rev?
Jeezy now. If y'all are real fans, you would know that.
I did know that.
I was talking about Young Jeezy though.
Oh, you have no respect for the current Jeezy. I gotcha.
No,
Ever since he got the surgery.
There's only one after the surgery. No, there's only like one actual song that I listened to of him after he became Jeezy, and it's that song with Lil Jon from like 2011. I can't remember the name of it, but
All Grown Up.
It goes pretty hard. Yeah, All Grown Up with Lil Jon.
No, with
who's
John.
now just John.
John
Yo,
and Jeezy.
I'm listening to John right now.
Yo, listen to that John and Jeezy. Yo,
Yeah.
remember when
Yo, John and Jeezy sounds like you are now tuned in to the mix with John and Jeezy.
yeah, they sounds like a DJ, radio host. You know, like remember when
Yeah.
Young Bug tried to drop Young and just went by Buck for like a month? That was a thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, that
People
sounds
a lot-
fucking.
Just Buck.
like Lil Wayne dropped Lil for a while, just went as a Wayne.
Did he?
No,
Wayne.
No,
Oh no,
I
because
just-
It'd be
he's
kinda
not.
funny
He's,
if he
he
did.
didn't grow up.
Well, his
a lot.
name isn't like descriptive of his age. He's kind of a small
Yeah,
guy.
it's a high-
so
I
it's
think
like,
at the time though,
makes
wasn't
sense.
it? Like he was like a kid.
Kinda, but he's
Yeah,
also
no,
like
he was
hella
a
short.
child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like my height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Lil Kendrick?
How about Lil Wang? You know what I mean?
Yo, that's funny because it's like a dick, bro. Yo, up top.
That's what's
up
funny.
top, my
Yo,
man.
that is
Yo.
comedy. Okay, so
Fuck G-Eazy.
fuck G-Eazy, and if you listen to him, delete YouTube right now. The app.
All of it.
All
But
of
on
it.
a real note, people can like whatever they like. I'm not gonna gatekeep anyone's taste.
Gatekeep?
Also, that
Where
doesn't
you-
necessarily mean anything about the actual artist. They may be good people or they may be terrible people.
Yeah, no, he's
He
right.
cheated on Halsey.
Yeah, he seems like not a good person, but I don't know him personally.
You know, I mean, Square is right. Fuck G-Eazy, and let's move on.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if we see G-Eazy, like I'm not
It's
trying to
on
say he's a bad
sight.
person, but if we
It's
see him,
on
I'm fucking
sight.
fighting him, bro. I'm gonna whip his ass.
You just have
I
a dude.
just like watch him be like the nicest guy ever. Like he's just chilling. Like he even like hears this, sees us, and is just kind of like, "Oh, hey guys, I understand." Blah 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 blah, and then I just punch him.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all jokes aside, I have no hate for G-Eazy, but if I see him, I'm going to stomp him out on God.
If I see him, I'm gonna come off the top rope with a flying clothesline
Elbow him in the
Take him out.
fucking dick.
until he dies.
But you can listen to whatever you like.
Yeah, you can listen to whatever you want, man. But like, you know, put him in a
Just-
dragon sleeper.
Just the next half hour, just describing the various ways in which we brutally assault this guy we've never even
It just
met.
becomes like some weird WWE fantasy, like of killing G-Eazy in the ring.
Oh man.
Guys, is it ad time?
Ah,
Oh shit!
Real ads.
Do you hear the alarms and the sounding of the alarms and the dinosaurs? We don't know what dinosaurs sound
and
like, so it
alarms
sounds
of
like.
dinosaurs.
Oh, actually, we don't know what dinosaurs sound like, but some say that they sounded like chickens. So I hear a lot of low-pitched chickens in the distance.
That's actually.
Oh yeah,
that's
Square,
actually
do
the
you
name
hear
of-
anything?
They're also alarms. They're also
Yeah.
alarmed dinosaurs known as alarmosaurs.
But you're right, Bill. There's also alarms. You're right. I hear those too in the distance.
That's the name
Yes.
of my next album is Low Pitched Chickens.
Square. Do you hear anything?
Fire.
Do you hear anything?
I hear.
I hope it's not obscure and hard to find on YouTube.
I hear Blue from Blue's Clues.
Hello, it's me, Blue from Blue's Clues.
Thanks. Awesome. I hear her too. I hear her too. All right, misgendered Blue.
And is that a new, previously unreleased Kill Bill song that I sort of hear in the distance? A
Oh
sneak
my god,
preview?
listen to that. Wow. Can't believe it. Is that Rav's entire discography that hasn't been dropped yet?
All at the same
Is that
time?
Imagine by the Beatles? Damn it.
We can make like literally anything manifest by asking that. Like it's like asking a genie for a wish. Is that world peace I hear?
So Square, tell us what's the ad this week? What product are we selling? That's a trick question.
Quick.
We all know what the product is.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it, to be honest. But
Yes,
they paid us a lot of money. So
Okay, so
That's good.
Bill, I know that you're excited about this one.
I'm ecstatic. I can't breathe
Yeah.
because of this.
Wiping Jello. You know, and
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's what we were
so-
excited about. Wiping Jello.
are you sick of chafing your ass with toilet paper, or like wiping your ass so hard it bleeds, and then you got like
Yes.
blood in your dookie in your hand, and your hand's full of dookie and blood?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. So the way to deal with it, obviously, is to throw away the toilet paper. But then what do you use? Water? I'm sorry, not all of
Your
us are
hands?
bougie. Hands? I'm sorry, not all of us are bougie. Okay, so
None of us can afford hands.
there are, we
I'm
just
too busy giving all of mine to G-Eazy.
just when you think like, damn, I give up. There's no other possible alternatives. I'm never gonna shit again. Worry not. You don't have to worry about shitting ever again. Because do we have the product for you? Wiping Jello. It comes in like a roll of Jello, like a toilet paper roll, and you put it in the same place, but it's just Jello, and you slap it on your ass and just let it drip down. And then when you feel confident enough to pull your pants up, you do that and you walk away, and no more blood. No more blood.
yeah, and if you order through us, they will include their new Serrano flavor.
Yeah.
There's
it's
Thank
real
God,
good, yeah.
man. I've been
for a spicy
wanting
butthole.
some Serrano up my ass for the longest. So this is perfect.
But the thing is, it coats your ass in like this kind of film that has like a pleasant smell depending on what kind of flavor of wipe Jello that you go with. And it's all vegan.
Yeah.
It doesn't have beef gelatin in it or anything like that.
Oh, except for the one, the beef gelatin
Except for
flavored.
the beef gelatin.
Yeah, the ramen flavored one.
The ramen
Yeah, that one's got
flavored
real
Jell-O.
because they don't use fake ingredients when they whatever it is, it's got some of that in there.
So, Bill,
so
you
when you
recently-
get the habanero flavored,
You recently transitioned.
it really is real.
to the Jell-O technique. I know that you swore by the hand for years,
What-
but you've recently made the transition from hand to Jell-O. So can you kind of give me a breakdown of what your experience has been like?
Well, I mean, you can only clean your hands of the dookie with your mouth so many times, a day. And it gets tiring, and
3.
people make comments,
3 times.
and sometimes, all the time, Sometimes they make comments all the time. Honestly, the technology behind this product, which is aided me in my transition, has helped a lot. So what it does is it's got a bunch of tiny, like what is it? What are they called in Metal Gear Solid? When the nano machines, they got
little nanobots in them.
grenades. They got tiny grenades. No, tiny nano machine vacuum cleaners inside, and they vacuum the shit from your ass into the Jell-O, and then it drips down. It makes like a noise. You can feel it. Something sucking on your ass. You know what I mean? Just getting all
AVGN?
that doo-doo out of there, and it just falls out when it's done. And like, personally, I've been quite enjoying the dragon fruit flavored one, and also you could just eat it. You know, you could just eat it if you want. You know, you're gonna have like little vacuum cleaners in your stomach,
a little bit of feces, but
little feces. Well, I mean, you don't have to use it after you use it.
Oh.
You don't have to eat it after you use it.
or
You could
I
just
mean, we don't
eat it.
judge. 2 birds, 1 stone. 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah,
You get the picture.
You know, that's your party to poop. You know.
All right. Well,
Get it? Because of the feces. But anyway, yeah, I've been using it for a couple of weeks now. And people just say, I walk by, and as I walk by, people waft to the air and go, is that Serrano?
Ooh, ramen.
so yeah, thank you guys. Shouts out to Welch's for finally,
Yeah.
taking a dive into this industry, and we're really excited to be some of the first people trying this product out. And once you guys, our listeners, get a chance to try it out, I swear you'll never use your hand again. Bill, what was the code?
Fuck.
And what was the website?
www.welches.com / booty jello 2.0 / both of them. Fuck.
Nice.
/ purchase.
And how much does it cost?
Oh.
It costs faux. No. So, and how, using our discount code, how much is taken off that faux?
3.
That's a fucking great deal. 75% off. So, yeah, go do it now before it's all sold out. And yeah, thank you guys. Had you not been supporting us,
It's all sold out.
oh,
now.
it's all sold
It's
out.
out.
It's what happens when you're monetized so good.
Yeah, well, it's it is what it is. C'est la vie, as the Germans say.
Yeah, they do say that. You would know. You would know. You do carry that book around you. Anyway, I'm gonna.
No comment.
I'm just gonna walk away from the microphone now. This Square, thank you for being on here.
You're welcome.
Any last
Any
words?
closing remarks? Okay, you said it better than me.
No.
What a socialist.
Go stream Skin.
Okay.
And also buy it if you haven't bought it yet.
Yes,
if
unless it's
not
already sold out. Yeah, in which case, damn.
Buy it anyway.
Still try to buy
Just
it.
fucking, you won't get it, but you can buy it.
You could buy it. You could still buy it. Oh, Bill, we can't end the episode unless you say something insightful.
Hold on. One Punch Man guzzles cum. Punch Man guzzles cum. Punch Man guzzles cum. Punch Man.